Hello, my name is Reverend Nancy Wilson, and I'm very proud to be the moderator of Metropolitan Community Churches, and also to share with you my reasons for fasting on this Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, January 15th, 2015. I think about myself at age 15 and even a little younger, growing up in Long Island, New York, in a fairly segregated part of the North in the United States, and thinking about how the church I grew up in was so engaged in the civil rights movement in a way that inspired me. And I think about those times and how, in seeing the movie Selma recently, I was taken back to those times and to an ideal in my young life that said that racism was sin, that racism was evil, and that it required commitment from us at a level that was physical and moral, spiritual and emotional, and that it required us to be faithful over a long period of time, and that said that struggle was for everyone who worked in a movement for justice, that struggle was required. In the movie Selma, I hope you see it if you haven't seen it, you see the struggle of Dr. Martin Luther King as a very human leader of this movement. You see a person full of doubts and fears, struggling to find his own moral center, to find the balances in his life that is very unbalanced by the requirements and demands of the moment in history. And so when I think about fasting today, I think about sacrifice. I think that fasting reminds me that we are all required to sacrifice, especially in these times when a movie like Selma, about something that happened 50 years ago, feels so contemporary. That when we see the ways in which power can be abused, when we see the ways in which people dehumanize one another, and sometimes even in the name of religion, so many of us in MCC understand what that's like. But we also have to be willing to understand that racism is still alive and well, including in our churches, sometimes in unconscious ways, sometimes in ways that go unchallenged. All of us need to open up and to learn and to sacrifice in ways that we make a new commitment to say that at the heart of our inclusive gospel of love for everyone is a commitment to see that racism is removed as a scourge from the earth, that we say that we pray for a time in our future and in the lives of our children and grandchildren and the lives of our churches in the future, that we will no longer have to look at a movie like Selma and say, oh my gosh, this looks like something that could have happened yesterday. So I challenge all of our churches to find ways to connect this week. Connect to your brothers and sisters of different races in your own communities. Connect to people who are aligned with you, maybe doing something very different in your community for justice or that helps to overcome racism, and becoming a part of that in a new way. Find ways you can make a sacrifice and a commitment to change the world just a little bit right where you are. God bless you as you celebrate this holiday and this time of remembering the gift of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.